Alrighty guys, now that the contestants have been resting for a good long while, it is time to get back into the Hunger Games. The bloodbath, as the tributes stand on their podiums, the horn sounds. Gabriel, Fritz, Bonnie, Freddy, and Charlie run away from the cornucopia. Golden Freddy finds a bag full of explosives. Cassidy, William, Jessica run away from the cornucopia. Michael takes a handful of throwing knives. Evan takes a sickle from inside the cornucopia. Millie runs into the cornucopia and hides. Chica takes a handful of throwing knives. Andrew and Dylan run away from the cornucopia. Susie retrieves a trident from inside the cornucopia. Foxy and Sarah run away from the cornucopia. Cassie snatches a pair of sais. Elizabeth, Mrs. Afton, Jeremy, Oswald, and Gregory run away from the cornucopia. Day 1 in the Hunger Games. Bonnie and Millie work together for the day. Sarah diverts Elizabeth's attention and runs away. Jessica receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. William defeats Freddy in a fight but spares his life. That is a first. Michael camouflages himself in the bushes. Gabriel and Oswald split up to search for resources. Mrs. Afton, Susie, and Cassidy hunt for other tributes. Foxy chases Evan. Charlie overhears Gregory and Chica talking in the distance. Jeremy defeats Fritz in a fight but spares his life. Dylan discovers a cave. Cassie and Andrew hunt for other tributes. Golden Freddy collects fruit from a tree. No one has died yet on the first day. Night 1. Susie is awoken by nightmares. I wonder why. William destroys Cassie's supplies while she is asleep. Gabriel receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Jeremy sees a fire but stays hidden. Dylan receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Fritz sets up camp for the night. Mrs. Afton and Evan tell stories about themselves to each other. Sarah lets Jessica into her shelter. Golden Freddy receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Charlie receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Michael is awoken by nightmares. I also wonder why. Andrew tries to sing himself to sleep. Oswald attempts to start a fire but is unsuccessful. Foxy looks at the night sky. Freddy tends to Bonnie's wounds. Gregory throws a knife into Elizabeth's head. Millie and Bonnie huddle for warmth. Cassidy tries to sing herself to sleep. Chica tends to her wounds. Day 2 in the Hunger Games. Susie receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. William receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Sarah strangles Gregory with a rope. Jessica makes a wooden spear. Michael hunts for other tributes. Evan begs for Dylan to kill him. He refuses, keeping Evan alive. Cassidy, Foxy, Oswald, and Chica track down and kill Golden Freddy. Charlie, Fritz, and Cassie started fighting, but Fritz runs away as Charlie kills Cassie. Millie picks flowers. Jeremy makes a slingshot. Gabriel attacks Freddy, but he manages to escape. Andrew falls into a frozen lake and drowns. Bonnie receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Mrs. Afton tries to sleep through the entire day. Fallen tributes. 5 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Elizabeth from District 6, Gregory from District 12, Golden Freddy from District 3, Cassie from District 12, and Andrew from District 8. That means one district is out of the picture. Night 2. Jessica and Michael huddle for warmth. Sarah pushes Evan off of a cliff during a knife fight. Mrs. Afton fends Fritz, Charlie, and Dylan away from her fire. Chica, Jeremy, and William discuss the games of what might happen in the morning. Bonnie tries to treat his infection. Gabriel convinces Freddy to not kill him, only to kill him instead. Susie destroys Foxy's supplies while he is asleep. Oswald tries to treat his infection. Millie thinks about home. Cassidy receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Day 3 in the Hunger Games. Dylan collects fruit from a tree. Susie is pricked by thorns while picking berries. Oswald questions his sanity. Cassidy, Chica, Mrs. Afton, and Millie raid Charlie's camp while she is hunting. Sarah explores the arena. Jessica receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Bonnie hunts for other tributes. Michael unbeknowingly eats toxic berries. Gabriel injures himself. William discovers a cave. Jeremy explores the arena. Fritz practices his archery. Foxy fishes. Fallen tributes. 3 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Evan from District 8, Freddy from District 1, and Michael from District 6. Night 3. Charlie, Jessica, Jeremy, and William tell each other ghost stories to lighten the mood. Well, I wonder how that's gonna go. Susie screams for help. Gabriel, Millie, Oswald, and Chica tell each other ghost stories to lighten the mood as well. Bonnie cooks his food before putting his fire out. Dylan sets up camp for the night. Sarah tends to Mrs. Afton's wounds. Cassidy questions her sanity, as well most of the missing children also do. Foxy pushes Fritz off of a cliff during a knife fight. Day 4 and the Hunger Games. Millie severely injures her boyfriend and leaves him to die. Wow. Foxy makes a slingshot. Bonnie sprains his ankle while running away from Gabriel. Susie, Mrs. Afton, Oswald, and Jeremy hunt for other tributes. Cassidy scares Sarah off. William taints Jessica's food, killing her. Chica stalks Charlie. Fallen tributes. 3 more cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Fritz from District 4, Dylan from District 11, and Jessica from District 9. Night 4. Millie cooks her food before putting her fire out. Jeremy tends to his wounds. Cassidy tries to treat her infection. Sarah is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. Bonnie tends to his wounds. Foxy receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Charlie receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Chica and William sleep in shifts. Gabriel attempts to start a fire but is unsuccessful. Oswald quietly hums. Mrs. Afton tries to sing herself to sleep. Susie dies from thirst. Day 5 in the Hunger Games. Sarah diverts Gabriel's attention and runs away. William stabs Foxy with a tree branch. Chica sprains her ankle while running away from Jeremy. Oswald bashes Mrs. Afton's head in with a mace. Millie searches for firewood. Bonnie fishes. Charlie tends to Cassidy's wounds. Fallen tributes. 3 more extra cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Susie from District 4, Foxy from District 2, and Mrs. Afton from District 7. Night 5. Oswald thinks about winning. Chica, Millie, Cassidy, and Bonnie sleep in shifts. Charlie convinces Gabriel to snuggle with her. Sarah kills William with a hatchet. Jeremy dies from thirst. The feast! The cornucopia is replenished with food, supplies, weapons, and memoirs from the tribute's families. Millie gathers as much food into a bag as she can before fleeing. Cassidy decides not to go to the feast. Oswald convinces Charlie to not kill him, only to kill her instead. Chica, Sarah, and Gabriel get into a fight. Gabriel triumphantly kills them both. Bonnie decides not to go to the feast. Day 6 and the Hunger Games. Bonnie discovers a river. Chica explores the arena. Gabriel thinks about home. Millie dies trying to escape the arena. Oswald camouflages himself in the bushes. Fallen tributes. 6. Cannon shots can be heard in the distance. William from District 7. Jeremy from District 5. Charlie from District 9. Chica from District 2. Sarah from District 10. And Millie from District 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 districts are out of the picture. Only 4 left alive. Night 6. Oswald loses sight of where he is. Cassidy thinks about home. Bonnie receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Gabriel cooks his food before putting his fire out. Day 7 and the Hunger Games. Gabriel injures himself. Bonnie runs away from Oswald. Cassidy collects fruit from a tree. No one has died yet. Night 7. Gabriel starts a fire. Cassidy, Bonnie, and Oswald cheerfully sing songs together. Day 8 and the Hunger Games. Bonnie convinces Cassidy to not kill him, only to kill her instead. Oswald sets off an explosive, killing Gabriel. Fallen tributes. 2 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Cassidy from District 3 and Gabriel from District 5. To the left, who is it going to be? Night 8. Bonnie strangles Oswald after engaging in a fistfight. That leaves Bonnie from District 1 as the winner of this episode. Bonnie first, Oswald second, Gabriel third, Cassidy fourth, and Millie in fifth. Looks like Millie is back to being a runner-up, but will she still be in the runner-ups, or will she actually win? Who knows? We'll have to find out. See you all in episode 2.